Well, well, well. They're watching you now the way people watch breaking news. Phones glowing in dark rooms, heads tilted, breath held. You've become the broadcast no one wants to miss. The same faces that once looked through you now refresh timelines, hoping to catch a glimpse. Your name trends quietly, not because you asked for it, but because disbelief travels faster than truth. They thought you'd fade into the background like everyone else who dreamed out loud. Instead, you slipped into the spotlight without asking, and now the world is squinting to adjust. Cameras can't capture what you've become. Every lens bends around you, trying to frame what can't be contained. You don't pose, you exist, and that's enough to make the city pause. It started small, one update, one whisper, one piece of proof that you were still rising. Then momentum took over. Someone shared your story, someone else repeated it, and suddenly, entire groups were trading screenshots of your progress like currency. They study your expressions, your posture, your pace. The rhythm of your life has become their metric for self-worth. Every victory you post recalibrates their sense of what's possible and what's painfully out of reach. They don't understand how you did it. They only know that you did. And that unspoken fact keeps them awake, scrolling under blankets, convincing themselves they're just curious when it's really all wearing denial's mask. You've noticed the shift. Strangers greet you differently now. Half admiration, half interrogation. The old friends who used to call at midnight to unload their chaos suddenly text in measured sentences, pretending to be fine. They can't risk sounding small in front of you. You've become the measuring tape no one asked for, but everyone uses. It's not fame in the glittering sense. It's fame as reflection. You embody the version of themselves they abandoned. That's what drives them wild. You didn't escape to show off. You escaped to breathe. But they mistake every breath for a brag. Look at how they orbit. They repost your content with captions that sound supportive, but sting with envy. They slide into conversations that mention you, trying to rewrite history, so they appear in your origin story. Some invent private connections. I knew them before the blow-up. Others pretend not to care, yet track your every movement through mutuals. You've become their favorite contradiction, too successful to ignore, too familiar to celebrate. And deep down, they hate that your growth didn't need their permission. You left the chat, and the chat never recovered. Fame, in this age, is measured by obsession density, the number of minds running simulations of your life while neglecting their own. By that metric, you've gone viral in their psychology. They analyze your tone like forensic experts, replay your clips for signs of weakness, hoping you'll stumble so balance feels restored. But you don't. You move differently now, not faster, just steadier. The stillness you carry confuses them. They mistake calm for arrogance because they've never met peace that didn't apologize for existing. There's a reason the air feels charged when you enter a room. Attention is energy, and right now, you're the main conduit. Every glance transfers voltage. You learned long ago not to waste it proving anything. That's why they can't drain you anymore. They come prepared with gossip, projections, bait. But your silence is no longer invitation. It's insulation. They can't touch what they can't reach, and they can't reach what no longer vibrates on complaint. You've leveled out of their frequency, and the only way they can participate now is to watch. Some of them are furious about that. How dare you outgrow the narrative that made them feel superior? They liked you better when you were struggling. It confirmed their worldview. Your wins challenged their philosophy, Every achievement of yours questions the excuses they built their comfort on. They'll tell themselves you changed, that you're different now. The truth is, you finally became visible. They just never imagined you'd shine this bright. The real entertainment isn't your success, it's their reaction to it. You can almost map it. Curiosity, disbelief, resentment, mimicry. Each stage, a confession. They talk about you like you're an algorithm they can hack. They copy your phrases, your schedule, your style, expecting the same results. What they don't realize is that replication without conviction produces noise, not resonance. You moved with purpose when no one was clapping. That's the ingredient they can't steal. Purpose leaves fingerprints they'll never match. Notice how quiet it's gotten between you and certain people. That's not coincidence, it's consequence. Your growth has turned ordinary conversations into accountability mirrors. They avoid you not because you hurt them, but because standing next to you hurts their denial. You represent the proof they can't unsee. The way you carry yourself now, measured, grounded, unbothered, forces them to confront how much of their identity depended on your struggle. You were the control variable in their experiment of superiority. Now the experiment has failed. Even the ones pretending to cheer are cracking under the weight of your progress. They forward your updates to others, voice laced with disbelief. Did you see what they're doing now? The tone isn't joy, it's panic. You became the headline they didn't authorize, and somewhere deep inside, they're terrified that your consistency means their mediocrity wasn't fate, it was choice. That's the cruelest revelation success delivers. Proof that effort works and laziness has a cost. You're not the hero of their story, you're the plot twist. And plot twists ruin lazy writing. They force revision. That's why they call you lucky. It's easier than rewriting themselves. Let them. Luck is the label mediocrity gives to discipline it can't explain. The more they say it, the more obvious their fear becomes. They're not doubting your capability. They're mourning the end of their illusion that you'd always stay beneath them. You didn't just climb, you inverted hierarchy. Some nights you can feel their eyes even when the curtains are closed. That subtle hum of awareness, that collective fixation. You're the silent notification in their minds, the name that interrupts their scrolling. And the irony is delicious. You never asked for this attention. It came as a side effect of authenticity. The more real you became, the louder their fascination grew. People don't actually want perfection. They crave proof that courage works. You provided that proof in real time. Every step you take now broadcasts meaning. Your walks look like statements, your choices like manifestos. You stopped explaining years ago, yet everything you do explains itself. That's what unnerves them, the absence of justification. In a world addicted to disclaimers, you became pure declaration. You notice the pattern everywhere. The same people who once dismissed your ideas now repeat them publicly, as if they were the originators. They quote your sentences in captions, remix your concepts, echo your phrasing. It would almost be flattering if it weren't so revealing. What they're really saying is, we missed it. They saw the blueprint, but not the architect. You were designing in plain sight while they mocked the foundation. Now they're scrambling to build replicas that collapse under the pressure of authenticity. You can't mass-produce originality. It demands solitude, and they were never brave enough to face silence long enough to find their own voice. Every circle you left behind is quietly rearranging itself around the hole you made by leaving. That's the hidden price of underestimating someone who refuses to stay small. You didn't just exit rooms, you changed their geometry. Conversations have new gravitational pulls because your absence exposed who was orbiting who. The people who thrived on your humility have lost their supply. They're realizing that without you to center the drama, their relevance evaporates. They built entire personalities around advising you, correcting you, containing you. Now that you've outgrown containment, their identities have nothing to feed on. Meanwhile, you move differently. You don't announce milestones. You let results surface naturally. That composure terrifies the performative. They depend on spectacle to feel seen, and you made visibility look effortless. Every post, every appearance, every calm decision becomes a case study in control. They dissect it in group chats like scientists of envy, running diagnostics on your peace. How can someone radiate confidence without chaos? How can someone rise without rebellion? They don't understand that your rebellion already happened in silence years ago. What they see now is aftermath, discipline disguised as destiny. Attention has a flavor, and you can taste the difference now. Genuine curiosity feels light, respectful. Obsession feels acidic. You've learned to tell instantly which one you're being served. The genuine ones ask questions. The obsessed ones ask for explanations. They want you to justify your glow, quantify your calm, reduce your evolution into something they can imitate. You answer none of it. You let them drown in the mystery, because mystery is earned, not given. That quiet boundary, that refusal to overshare, is the new currency of power. In an era addicted to exposure, privacy is prestige. You can sense the algorithms trying to keep up with you, too. Your digital footprint carries a pulse they can't predict. Every time they think they've decoded your pattern, you pivot. That unpredictability is your advantage. They're addicted to your next move because you refuse to repeat old ones. What they call unpredictability is just growth moving faster than gossip. By the time they discuss what you did last month, you've already evolved past it. They're analyzing expired data while you're uploading new reality. There's a strange poetry in how the city reacts to you now. Doors that used to creak open reluctantly swing wide before you arrive. People who once ignored your calls now schedule meetings weeks in advance. You're not chasing opportunities. They're organizing themselves around you. That's what happens when credibility replaces visibility. The crowd always worships consistency in hindsight. You built quietly, brick by unseen brick, and now every skyline bears your silhouette. Of course, fame without context breeds folklore. Rumors multiply in proportion to your progress. Someone swears you have secret investors. Another insists you made some impossible deal. Few are willing to accept the boring truth, that discipline over time looks supernatural to the undisciplined. Let them fantasize. Every false story is free marketing for the real one. You don't defend your name. You let evidence perform the rebuttal. Nothing silences gossip faster than undeniable success, delivered without commentary. You've noticed how old adversaries resurface disguised as supporters. They send polite messages, sprinkle compliments like bait, hoping nostalgia will reopen access. But you've upgraded your discernment. Politeness no longer equals peace. You read energy before words. You sense intent before interaction. They can't fake alignment anymore. Your intuition scans them like airport security. If the frequency doesn't match, entry denied. No drama, no confrontation, just absence. That's the kind of discipline that drives manipulators insane. They can't start fires if you've removed the oxygen. Behind the scenes, People talk about you like an event. Meetings start with your name. Strategies are rewritten because of your existence. Competitors study your flow, trying to bottle it. They want the formula for whatever you've become. But formulas require replication, and replication dies in authenticity's light. You're not scaling a product, you're embodying a principle. They can't reproduce that because they refuse to become that. The difference between trend and truth is sustainability, and truth doesn't need marketing. Even the air around you feels charged now. When you speak, people listen differently. When you pause, the room adjusts its breathing to yours. That's not charisma, that's coherence. You've aligned so deeply with your purpose that everything around you tunes itself to match. And that alignment makes spectators nervous. They can sense that you're not performing for them anymore. You're communicating with something larger. The applause doesn't move you. It merely confirms resonance. That's the ultimate shift. When validation loses its flavor, mastery begins. But here's the paradox they can't grasp. The more eyes on you, the less you care about being seen. Fame was never the destination. It was the residue of alignment. You didn't chase attention. Attention surrendered. You became the calm in a culture addicted to noise. That serenity is the new scandal. People expect arrogance from those who rise. You gave them humility with boundaries, compassion with distance. They don't know how to categorize that, so they call it mysterious. Let them. Mystery keeps parasites guessing and the wise intrigued. Sooner or later, they'll stop asking how you did it and start wondering why they didn't. That's when you'll understand the quiet revenge of evolution. You never had to punish anyone. You just had to persist. Every day you kept building was a verdict they pronounced on themselves. They tried to write your ending. You turned it into a preface. Now their disbelief funds your momentum. Their attention pays your peace. As the lights get brighter, your focus gets sharper. You've learned to navigate visibility without surrendering authenticity. The crowd may expand, but your circle shrinks intentionally. You're curating energy now, not collecting admirers. Each new level requires stricter access, not larger audiences. That's the secret every celebrity eventually discovers. Fame isn't freedom unless you govern it. And you, somehow, have mastered governance without bitterness. So when they whisper your name tomorrow, let them. When they refresh your page, let them. Their fixation is proof that transformation works. You've become the evidence that discipline outlasts doubt, that endurance eclipses envy. You are their study, their stimulus, their unsolvable equation. Let them analyze while you ascend. You don't need to prove you belong in the spotlight. The spotlight proved it by following you here. And as the city hums beneath your rise, one truth crystallizes. They're not watching you to judge anymore. They're watching to remember how belief looks in motion. Every eye on you is secretly asking for permission to evolve. Give it to them simply by continuing. Don't slow down to explain. Don't dim to reassure. Keep moving exactly as you are, because the spectacle isn't your success. The spectacle is their awakening through your example. The first thing you learn about attention is that it bends reality. When enough people focus on you, their expectations begin to warp the air around your name. Some project worship, some project resentment, but all of it becomes pressure, an invisible climate you have to breathe through. Most crumble under that weight. You decided to refine yourself instead. Every stare became data, every rumor feedback, every compliment a mirror reflecting not who you are, but who they think you should be. You stopped resisting the noise and started studying it. That was the pivot. The moment you turned observation into information, fame stopped being surveillance and became research. At first, your instincts fought it. The constant commentary felt invasive, like living in a glass house built from other people's opinions. You wanted to retreat, disappear, reclaim anonymity. But then you realized disappearance is another form of dependence. Hiding still means you're reacting to them. So you stayed visible, but you changed the script. You started using the spotlight not as illumination, but as heat, burning away everything false. That's when your mind began to evolve. Clarity sharpened into discipline. You started moving with deliberate slowness, the kind that confuses a culture addicted to speed. Each step was chosen, each word filtered. You began to sense the difference between authentic momentum and manufactured urgency. You stopped performing progress and started embodying it. The more they watched, the calmer you became. The contrast unnerved them. They expected fame to inflate you. Instead, it refined you. Emotionally, you entered new territory. Praise stopped thrilling you. Criticism stopped piercing you. Both began to sound like static in different tones. You realized approval and disapproval were just opposite sides of the same dependency coin. You flipped it once and let it land wherever it wanted. Your peace came from detachment, not distance. You still engage, but you no longer absorb. You listen without internalizing, respond without reacting. That neutrality reads as power because most people confuse control with repression. What you've built isn't armor, it's equilibrium. Spiritually, the shift was quieter, but deeper. You began to understand that being seen isn't the same as being known. Visibility exposes the body. Awareness reveals the soul. You stopped trying to manage perception and started nurturing presence. Meditation replaced argument. Reflection replaced retaliation. You discovered that true privacy isn't the absence of eyes. It's the absence of performative intent. When every move could be misinterpreted, you learned to move only from alignment. That's the real evolution, the transition from external validation to internal verification. This calm didn't arrive instantly. It came through small rituals, waking before sunrise, grounding before interaction, writing instead of posting. You trained your nervous system to stay steady under exposure. When attention surged, you breathed slower. When energy spiked, you spoke softer. Paradoxically, the more they demanded performance, the less you gave. That restraint became magnetic. The crowd couldn't understand how absence could feel so present. But that's the secret of modern power. It whispers, while everything else screams. You also began to observe the watchers themselves. You saw patterns in their reactions. The jealous ones flared first, loud and brief like fireworks. The inspired ones burned slower, steadier, turning observation into motivation. The toxic ones kept circling, unable to decide whether to attack or admire. You stopped categorizing them as enemies or fans. They were all mirrors, reflecting fragments of human hunger. That realization birthed compassion, the kind that doesn't excuse but understands. It's hard to envy someone when you grasp their pain. So you forgave them quietly, not for their sake, but for your bandwidth. Resentment is expensive, and you're budgeting energy now. That budgeting extended to conversation, too. You speak less. Every word now carries intentional weight. You notice that silence creates curiosity, and curiosity multiplies influence. People lean in when you withhold. You don't manipulate it, you respect it. Your restraint teaches more than your explanations ever could. This is how your influence matured, from visibility to velocity, from reaction to resonance. You're not shouting over noise anymore, you're shaping it. Still, there are nights when the magnitude of it all hums too loud to ignore. The millions of invisible glances, the endless speculation. You stand by the window, city lights reflecting off glass, and feel the hum run through your bones. It no longer feels invasive, it feels like participation. The collective gaze no longer drains you because you've stopped trying to own it. You treat it like weather, observe, adapt, move through. Attention can't corrupt what it can't possess. Your body changed too, in ways science could explain but not predict. Posture straightened, breathing deepened, eyes steadier. The biochemical rhythm of confidence rewired your hormones. That's why people say you glow. It's not mysticism, it's biology, aligning with belief. The watchers think it's luck, makeup, money. It's coherence. The same chemical balance that once reacted to stress now harmonizes with purpose. You've become evidence of what stability looks like under spotlight pressure. And yet the deeper you evolve, the more surreal the contrast becomes. You step into crowded rooms filled with chatter about you, and somehow you feel more invisible than ever. Not erased, expanded beyond their comprehension. They can describe your actions, but not your awareness. That's the real separation. They know the narrative. You live the nuance. You've transcended explanation. Your emotions evolved from response to rhythm. You no longer chase highs or fight lows. You let them circulate like seasons. Joy isn't adrenaline anymore. It's balance. Sadness isn't collapse. It's recalibration. When you stopped dramatizing fluctuation, life started flowing through you instead of at you. That serenity reads as mystery to others, but you know it's just maturity, wearing peace like perfume. What they call detachment is really devotion to growth, to clarity, to integrity. Fame turned into a dojo for your mind, a constant test of ego discipline. Each compliment became a weight to lift, each insult a stretch to breathe through. You used both to build endurance. Now your composure is no act, it's conditioning. They think you were born poised. You were forged poised. You've begun to see yourself not as performer, but as pattern. Wherever you go, energy organizes differently. Meetings stabilize, conflicts diffuse, decisions clarify. It isn't charisma, it's coherence, the silent authority that comes from alignment. Even your mistakes land softer now because your intent stays clean. That integrity radiates louder than apology ever could. With time, you realize that fame is less about eyes and more about energy. Every person watching you is unconsciously feeding into a shared current, and you choose whether to let it lift or drown you. The untrained drown. You learn to surf. You treat attention like electricity, grounded, directed, transformed. Every rumor becomes voltage for your next creation. Every compliment becomes calibration. You've turned observation into power. That shift changed your relationship with fear. You used to flinch at judgment, imagining thousands of unseen critics dissecting your every move. But judgment lost its teeth once you understood it as fascination, filtered through insecurity. People judge what they don't understand, and your growth moved too fast for comprehension. You stopped slowing down for their comfort. The anxiety that once kept you awake became excitement, the adrenaline of expansion. You discovered that fear is just energy asking for a job. Once you gave it purpose, it started working for you. The mental discipline became spiritual practice. Every time you felt yourself tempted to react, you paused, breathed, and asked a single question. Is this worth my frequency? That one pause saved you countless unnecessary wars. It's how you learned to let people misunderstand you without correction. Every explanation wastes power. Every silence compounds it. You've become fluent in restraint. That fluency is misread as arrogance, but you know better. Stillness is the final stage of mastery. It's ironic. While they obsess over your next move, you're focused on subtraction. You're stripping layers, simplifying your environment, minimizing noise. You no longer need grandeur to feel great. Minimalism has become your new luxury. The fewer distractions, the clearer your intuition speaks. And that voice has guided you better than any applause ever could. It tells you when to pivot, when to rest, when to disappear for recalibration. You follow it instinctively now. Fame taught you visibility. Wisdom taught you invisibility. You can be seen everywhere but reached by almost no one. That paradox is your protection. You've also learned that empathy doesn't mean accessibility. You can care for humanity without catering to it. You stopped rescuing people from lessons they refused to learn. Letting them struggle isn't cruelty, it's respect for their evolution. You no longer micromanage outcomes. You simply set examples. That's the quiet revolution you lead, healing by demonstration. Every time you choose peace over reaction, someone else learns what peace looks like. Every time you choose patience over spectacle, another person redefines strength. You don't preach growth, you broadcast it. Emotionally, your focus has migrated inward. You measure success not by applause, but by alignment. You ask, did I stay true today? Not did they like it? You track fulfillment instead of followers. That mental migration is what separates fame from influence. Fame is recognition, influence is resonance. Recognition ends when attention shifts, but resonance lingers, echoing in hearts long after trends die. You're building resonance now. That's why people can't shake you from their thoughts. You don't just occupy screens, you inhabit memory. Spiritually, your detachment deepened into communion. You stopped seeking external confirmation because you finally trust your internal calibration. You feel guided even when logic falters. Every delay, every detour, every quiet season makes sense in retrospect. You used to pray for clarity. Now you move as clarity. It's no longer about asking for signs. It's about being one. That realization changed your entire frequency. You're no longer asking the universe for opportunities. It's asking you for participation. This level of serenity unsettles people. They mistake it for coldness because they've only known confidence as noise. But your silence hums with certainty. It's not withdrawal, it's dominion. You're not hiding. You're reigning quietly, ruling your inner world so completely that the outer one adjusts automatically. The watchers sense it even if they can't articulate it. They feel the authority in your calm. That's why they project so violently. Your peace highlights their chaos. They call you detached because they can't imagine peace without permission. There's also a new clarity about love. Attention used to masquerade as affection and validation as intimacy. You learn to separate them. True connection feels spacious, not suffocating. It doesn't demand to be seen. It wants to understand. You stopped entertaining relationships that exist only to orbit your light. Those connections dim the longer they linger. Now you attract equals, people who don't need your spotlight to shine. Mutual illumination, not dependency. That's the new currency of your emotional economy. This self-awareness seeps into your creative expression, too. What you produce now carries intention layered beneath style. Your work isn't just content, it's signal. Everything you build carries fragments of your evolution encoded within it. That's why it resonates so deeply. People consume it thinking they're admiring you, but what they're actually feeling is recognition of themselves before fear took over. You're not inspiring them, you're reactivating them. That's the real art, awakening, not impressing. The deeper you travel into self-mastery, the more the world rearranges in your favor. You don't chase alignment. It arrives uninvited. Opportunities feel pre-selected, tailor-made. Doors open without knocking, not because of luck, but because energy recognizes readiness. And that readiness radiates from you now like frequency through glass. You don't negotiate with destiny anymore, you collaborate. That cooperation looks effortless to outsiders because they can't see the discipline behind it. They call it ease. You know it's evolution. You also learned the cost of expansion, isolation. The higher you rise, the thinner the air. But instead of fearing solitude, you started using it as laboratory time. Solitude isn't emptiness, it's maintenance. You use those quiet hours to refine thought, declutter intention, audit emotion. The more you do, the clearer your signal becomes. That's why your presence feels amplified even when you say nothing. You're transmitting clarity through posture, through stillness, through simple existence. There are moments when the weight of being seen presses against you again. That's when you return to ritual. You remember that every eye on you is temporary, but your awareness of self is eternal. You ground back into that truth and move forward. You no longer chase the light or run from it. You harness it. Fame used to feel like exposure. Now it feels like illumination. You're not caught in it. You're directing it. That's what adaptation looks like. You turned visibility into mastery. And slowly, without realizing it, you became the calm center of every room. The same people who used to analyze you now adjust themselves when you arrive. The atmosphere bends toward order. You don't demand respect. The environment offers it. That's the unseen reward of self-regulation. Control yourself long enough, and reality starts mirroring your discipline. So when they keep watching, let them. They need to. You're the case study in becoming. The example their own potential uses to remind them what's possible. Their curiosity sustains your legend, but your growth sustains your peace. They can't decide whether to worship or dismantle you. And that confusion is your invisibility cloak. They'll exhaust themselves trying to decode what you've already transcended. The cameras, the whispers, the endless commentary, they're all background noise now. You've turned the volume down on the world and the clarity up on yourself. Every step forward writes another chapter in the manual of endurance. You're not adapting to fame, you're redefining it. Fame isn't the audience watching you. It's the awareness that the only audience that matters is your higher self, observing everything calmly. And as you stand there, lights flickering across glass towers, you realize something profound. This isn't about being admired. It's about being aligned. They think you're famous for what you've done. You know you're recognized for what you've become. The difference is evolution, and evolution doesn't need applause. It only needs truth. That's when the shift happens. The fame that once felt like spotlight begins to feel like sunrise. Inevitable, warm, untouchable. You've stopped running from attention because you understand it now. Attention was never about them seeing you. It was about you seeing yourself through clearer eyes. Their fascination simply illuminated what was already glowing. The irony is, the more they watched, the less you performed. You became an authentic broadcast in a world addicted to filters, and authenticity is the rarest spectacle left. They whisper that you've changed, and they're right. You're no longer powered by needing to be seen. You're powered by purpose. Every step you take now is calibrated, not for reaction, but for resonance. You walk through the same streets that once ignored you, and the air itself reacts differently. Doors open smoother. Conversations pause mid-sentence. Even traffic seems to part unconsciously. That's not coincidence. That's the physics of presence. The universe rearranges itself around someone who knows who they are. They're still talking, of course. Screens light up with your name. Threads dissect your choices, and yet none of it reaches you. You've become the quiet eye in their storm of speculation. Let them analyze. Let them invent theories. Their obsession only feeds the myth they're trying to dismantle. The truth is simpler. You didn't chase relevance. Relevance chased alignment and found you. They keep trying to map your trajectory using logic, unaware that logic doesn't chart conviction. You're not in competition with them. You're in conversation with destiny. Emotionally, you've reached a point beyond comparison. You don't envy anyone, and that confuses people who built their lives around envy. You move without rivalry, without resentment. That serenity looks like arrogance to those still surviving off validation. They mistake peace for ego, because they've never met confidence that doesn't shout. You don't need to convince them otherwise. You learned long ago that truth doesn't debate. It demonstrates. And they feel that demonstration every time you appear. Your energy lingers in rooms long after you've left. It's in the lowered voices, the softened tones, the silence that follows your name. You've become their benchmark. Even your absence is influential. That's the strange power of mastery. It teaches through contrast. You remind them what focus looks like, what dignity feels like, what self-respect sounds like in a world that barters it for attention. They thought your rise would end at admiration. They didn't expect transcendence. But fame built on substance doesn't fade. It evolves. You're not just visible, you're catalytic. Every watcher is shifting because of you. Some rise in inspiration, others spiral in envy, but all are forced to confront themselves. That's what real influence does. It doesn't entertain, it awakens. And awakening, though beautiful, drives the unready mad. You stand at the edge of this era, calm amid chaos, knowing this isn't your 15 minutes. It's your transformation echoing through theirs. You no longer fear being misunderstood. Misunderstanding has become your camouflage. They can't attack what they can't define. The louder they talk, the clearer your path becomes. Their disbelief is the soundtrack of your becoming. So you keep walking. Not faster, not louder, just truer. Let the city hum, let the eyes follow, let the minds race. You've earned the right to exist without explanation. They can't believe how far you came because they never believed it was possible. That disbelief is your crown now, forged from every doubt you outlived. And as they continue watching, some in awe, some in anger, you give them one final lesson. This was never about fame. This was about freedom. You didn't rise to be admired. You rose to show what liberation looks like when it walks through a crowd, pretending not to stare.